Hey, this is Jersey. You're listening to the Garden State.
You're listening to The Garden State, the only New Jersey podcast that gives you all the news you need to hear this week. My name is Josh Sobo.
I'm Josh Chomik.
And back, like always, behind the camera,
Jimmy Parks.
Boys, how you doing?
That was a clean intro compared to last week.
Yeah.
I tried to keep it nice and tight.
I think after like 48 episodes, we finally got our rhythm down.
Yeah, it's crazy. Well, how you guys doing this week?
I'm doing great.
I'm doing all right.
It's like spring outside. I don't know if anyone's noticed.
It's the end of it. It's the end of it. No more.
Oh, our temperature's about to drop?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. If you go outside right now, it's kind of cold already.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so that's 65-degree weather every day. Ain't happening anymore, boys.
I don't know, but next week looks like it's in the high 40s still. I have hope,
No 50s, though.
but still.
40s is kind of cold. The average temperature this time of year is like, what, like 40?
But if it's sunny out, I don't know. Let's see.
Well, I will say that it softened the blow of getting past the holidays because it made me think about spring. I feel like spring is around the corner.
No, it's not, guys.
It is right around the bend.
Dude, it was December 21st was the start of winter, bro.
Yeah, but that's not how it really
just
works.
started.
January 5th.
Nah, dude.
The daily average high temperature is 40 degrees for January in New Jersey.
Oh, spot on.
So, yeah.
So good.
If you think about it, January, February, March is basically the beginning of spring, right?
March 21st.
Oh, it is?
Yep.
Oh, okay. So
It's always the 21st. It's so easy to remember.
we got 2 months, and we're in spring. And if you think about 2 months ago, that was basically Thanksgiving.
Feels like yesterday.
I mean, that's really like a month ago. But
It's almost Easter.
I'm just happy we had a cold Christmas. Like, that was cool.
I wish it snowed.
It was too cold, but like still, it was. I'm happy it wasn't like a 65-degree Christmas.
Well, I think we're going to have a mild winter. That's my prediction. I don't think we're going to get much snow. And with that, before we get this week off and rolling.
No, we're definitely going to get snow.
You think so?
I'm hoping.
As long as it
You guys
isn't.
talking about 40-degree weather next week.
Well, that's the average. So you got to think like there's like the 20-degree days and you got like the 50-degree days. Like there's bound to be a snowstorm somewhere in there. And I'm really hoping we get one.
I mean, I want one, but I just don't want one when I'm trying to do stuff.
What do you mean trying to do stuff?
Well, I feel like, I don't want to jinx it, but I feel like there's going to be a storm when we're going to San Diego, and it's going to screw up all our flights.
Oh, yeah. Like I don't want a storm when I'm away, but still, like
Yeah.
I want a storm so badly. Give it to me. We need to be covered in snow around here.
I just don't want to be driving to the hospital with a snowstorm.
Well, yeah, maybe like a February 1st storm.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
That'd be better.
What'd you guys do this weekend?
Well, it was
your
New Year's.
Yeah, for your New Year's celebration.
Nothing.
What? That's such a lie.
We didn't do it. Okay, we went to Island. No, we went to Liberty State Park.
Yeah, how are you about to say that you did nothing when you guys had one of the coolest, I feel, New Year's?
It was just super chill. Like we didn't have anything going on. So like me, Jimmy, and a few of our friends, we went to Liberty State Park to see like the fireworks near the Statue of Liberty.
At midnight.
Yeah, it was cool. We like drove there at 11 p.m. There were some people there.
There's a decent amount, I would say.
Yeah, I didn't
being
expect
after
that.
hours when the park is closed. Like, there's a lot of people there.
But what changed this year was it was so foggy that night. So
Yep.
like we didn't know what to expect with the fireworks, and it ended up being really really cool because it just like lit up the whole entire sky.
It was awesome.
Couldn't really see fireworks though.
I feel like it's been foggy all week.
It's the warm weather.
Oh, is that why it's
Yeah,
doing
you
that?
wake up in the morning and it's just super warm and
There was like super dense fog the other morning where it just like hugs super low to the like waterways and stuff. It was like a whole cloud. It was awesome.
it was absolutely gorgeous. I went on a walk at like 6:30 this morning, dude.
Yeah.
So perfect.
Yeah, it was like 55 degrees.
Oh, I know. It's dumb.
I love it.
I'm taking advantage of the warm weather. Like I'm
Me
not
too.
about it, but like I went golfing yesterday. It was absolutely phenomenal. In January, I was in short sleeves.
Yeah, I've been
Something's
outside the
wrong.
whole week. It's been
Yeah,
amazing.
something's wrong. So, but I got to take advantage of it. What am I going to do? Complain? It's not going to change anything.
Nope.
Josh,
Well-
what do you do on New Year's? Anything fun?
I felt like you guys, your plans were pretty cool. I felt like a lot of people didn't do anything this New Year's. I personally fell asleep at like 10:45.
Wow.
Did you wake up at 12 or no?
Nope.
See, I
Got
agree
in
with
bed,
that.
I read a book, and I passed out.
The last time I celebrated New Year's was when Josh and I were roommates
Yeah.
3 years ago.
Yep.
We had some people over and like we decked out the house. It was,
It was
so
awesome.
cool.
We had a room and we
The hallway.
filled our hallway with about 100 balloons. on the walls and ceiling. So it just looked like you were in like a room full of balloons.
It was a vibe.
And then I put jazz music on in the bathroom. So, and there was a thing on the wall for people to write their resolutions on. You remember that?
And we put our LED lights in the bathroom too, so it was like a blue escape.
It was awesome.
It's like
that
the
was
living room had like bumping music and stuff.
was
then
amazing.
Then you go to the bathroom, it's like this calm jazz. Like it puts you into like a peaceful. It's like you want to be in like a peaceful state when you go to the bathroom. So like we wanted to change the house around. But yeah, that was the last time I celebrated New Year's Eve, I think.
I was a little sad. I was driving to Trader Joe's at like 5 o'clock on New Year's Eve. And we were just going to get some like apps. This is so boring. We were just like going to get some apps that we could warm up in the oven.
I love that though. That's
for
so cool.
New Year's Eve. And I was like, whoa, this is our last New Year's Eve not having a kid.
It's crazy.
Wow.
And then I was like, man, maybe we should be doing something crazy right now. Maybe we should have gone to Times Square or like gone to a restaurant, like some crazy dinner. And then we were like, whatever. There's, I don't know.
Dude.
It's going to be even, maybe we'll have a house this time next year and we'll host you guys over for a little shindig.
I'm putting it on my calendar.
Listen, New Year's Eve, you guys tell me if you agree or not. Overrated holiday.
I hate it.
Jimmy?
I'm half and half.
It's just another day. It's just another day. I hate
But that's
parties.
every holiday.
No. Christmas has a meaning to it. Easter has a meaning to
I
it.
guess.
Arbor Day has a meaning to it. New Year's, it's just another day. It's just ringing the new year.
Well, no, I guess I could see it both ways. I think that you got to celebrate a new year. You got to, and the thing I hate about, here's what I don't like about New Year's Eve.
New year, new me.
I don't like that Christmas has just ended and you're already a little bit sad. And then it's like, hey, let's get real sentimental. You're going to die. Like, that's all. New Year's is just about remembering you're getting older and you're going to die. That's what it is to me.
I never thought about it that way.
Wow, I'm getting another year older. People sing Auld Lang Syne or whatever, and it's just you sit around sad, and then you wake up New Year's Day, and New Year's Day, if it tastes like boiled chicken, like if New Year's Day had a flavor, that's the flavor of New Year's Day. There's no feeling to it. It's just, hey, wake up a little later. It's always overcast outside. It feels like nothing, at least in New Jersey. And you know what? It's you dread going back to work. There's no more holidays. The next holiday is Valentine's Day, which isn't even a holiday. So yeah, we're in the trenches right now, and this is the point of the Garden State podcast: is we're going to lift the listeners through this dark period of New Jersey.
Wow.
January
Come
to spring is the worst time to be a New Jersey resident. So we're going to get you guys through this period of time. Do you guys agree with that or no?
I love that idea so much, dude.
Preach.
Well, that's why, dude. Like, I think now my new tradition for New Year's, I think I'm going to do it moving forward. I didn't do it this year because it's too warm. It's what we did 2 years ago, bro.
Yeah.
Or 3. When did we do it? 4 years ago. I did it with you.
Oh yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, we like just drove up to Vermont, stayed at our buddy's house. We went to bed at like 11 o'clock. We didn't even stay up for the ball drop, and then we woke up and snowboarded.
No, we did.
First thing.
We were. It was like 11:55, and we were all falling asleep. It was me, you, and our friend George, and his parents had a condo with a hot tub.
Oh yeah,
And it was just 3 dudes chilling in a hot tub, 5 feet apart.
it's great.
And
What more could you want?
and we hung out. We went to like a local little dive spot for like burgers or whatever, and then we went back and crashed. Got up and snowboarded.
The dream.
It was a great.
That was the best New Year.
What mountain did we go to?
We went to Killington or Okemo. One of
Killington,
those?
I think it was.
Killington, yeah, because it's right next to George's.
Well, I would like to. I mean, when I have kids, I'm probably just going to do. I saw this mom put the ball dropping from last year on at like 7:45 for her kids.
I heard about
Oh,
this.
that's actually genius.
Yeah.
And they were like freaking out, and then I guess she just made them go to bed.
That's yeah. Oh my gosh, why aren't more parents doing that?
I'm sure there's a lot. I actually thought like, do they film the ball dropping like a CGI version of it for parents? Because there's kids content on YouTube.
Yeah,
You could probably get a lot of views on that if you made that.
imagine
So
That happened to me as a kid, actually.
they did that to you.
Yeah, my parents went away and I stayed over at my grandma's house. So she showed me like Australia's New Year's because it happened like a whole
Oh, that's
day
actually
early.
really good.
So
well,
I didn't-
you get Australia like a whole like 24 hours before us.
Exactly. So I guess they recorded it and then like showed it to me. And it was like only like
How
8
old were
o'clock.
you?
I was like 5. It was actually the year 2000, 99 to 2000.
Oh,
are
that
you
was.
talking about Y2K right now?
Yeah,
Jimmy?
Y2K.
I was in my aunt's basement. I'll never forget that. Oh my goodness.
What did anything happen?
Yeah, all the systems shut down. You don't remember that?
That's such a like a millennial thing. It's crazy. I remember we went to my aunt's house, and me and all my cousins were in the basement celebrating. There was nothing. No, there was no like fear in my family. I think my parents may have gotten some candles and like some like jugs of water. I don't think they were afraid of Y2K, but they may have been hedging their bets a little bit with the candles in the water.
Dude, my neighbor across the street went out when the ball dropped or whatever, it hit 12 o'clock. He lit up the loudest firework I've ever heard in my life. It sounded like an explosion went off on Y2K.
Really?
Yeah, so my whole family was like shook. Like it shook the whole house. And
World's ending.
Like literally, to be honest, guys, before that ball dropped, I was in the living room praying. I was like, I thought it was gonna be the end of the world.
Do you remember Y2K?
Yeah.
You really were like afraid.
Oh, bro, I was praying, dude. I was like, God,
This
take
could
me.
be the end.
This is the end. I just hope nothing happens.
I love it.
You know
That's
what's like
amazing.
even crazier though? All the scams that went on before Y2K. Like these companies paid hundreds of thousands of dollars to make sure like their infrastructure was Y2K compatible because no one knew what was going to happen.
I never really read into that. Like I was
Yeah,
so young, I didn't realize
crazy.
what was going on at the time.
I
crazy.
never understood Y2K. Y equals year.
Yeah.
2 for 2000.
About
K
Is the-
for error.
No error. Josh, 2K, 2000,
yeah, that's
2K,
Oh, duh.
like 24K magic.
I was thinking
Dude,
because it says right here Y2K. I was like, isn't K a symbol for error? Like on a calculate? Maybe I'm making
Josh,
that
you're
up.
joking. You're telling me now you never knew what that meant.
I think I did. I'm really tired right now. I'm not gonna
You
lie.
can't use a tired excuse. That's
think-
embarrassing.
Y2K. I just always said it like Y2K. It sounds like, I don't know, Circus Soleil. Like it just sounds like a thing you say.
The kids in my high school, I graduated in 2010. So the big saying like in our high school is 2K10. And
I know that. I
So
mean, like
lame.
2K.
I hated it. I wasn't partaking in it. But like now I think Y2K and I think 2K10. It's just weird.
yeah.
Well, now you guys have said it, I feel pretty dumb. So can we just get into the mailbag?
Yeah. I think
Yes,
so.
sir.
All right, let's see. We definitely got some messages this week.
Got some mail.
Let's listen to this first one. Hey, you've reached the Garden State Podcast mailbag. We are currently buying cans and water for Y2K 2.0. You might want to stock up for that. Leave us a message and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. Bye.
Hey guys, this is Adrian from Booton. Today I have a quick PSA. If you use a debit card to pay for gas and the gas attendant asks for your PIN number, don't give it to them. This is a scam. This does come from a personal experience, but fortunately my bank flagged everything before anything bad happened. On New Year's Eve, this happened to me at the Maplewood Wawa.
No.
I had an attendant ask for my PIN number, and I gave it to them. Not super proud of that move, but my card was declined, only later to receive a fraud notification from my bank declining a $100 transaction. Before I realized what was happening, I also had the guy, I gave my credit card to him, and he started asking how much money to put on the card. I told him I didn't know what he was talking about, and he said he'd have to go inside the store if I didn't know how to respond, though fortunately I got my second card, the credit card, back before he tried swiping it. By then, this whole situation felt really sketchy, so I drove to another gas station and processed what happened. I was rather surprised to have had this experience at a Wawa, so I share my experience as a cautionary tale.
Wow.
I'm confused. Wait, the debit card didn't work because the bank caught it immediately. Is that what she's saying?
Yeah. And so I'm guessing something happened with the debit card, then switched to credit. But I will say I know that Wawa in Maplewood.
Has that happened to you?
No, I went there with my dad one time, and it's not my favorite Wawa, but I've been hearing a lot about these scams going around. My sister and my brother-in-law actually both went to is it a Delta gas station in Cranford on North Ave?
Yeah, or no namer, right?
I thought it was a no-namer.
It might be like a no-namer now.
It might have
Sitco?
switched.
Sitco?
I can't tell you. I never go there.
Well,
They're so
it's
slow.
on North, and what is that street that?
The diagonal street by the police station.
No. It's.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
It's
I just
over
don't know
by
street
where
names.
across. It's the one
Dive.
right across the street from Union County Savings Bank.
Oh, on that side.
Yeah, that bank right on the corner.
Oh.
What bank is that? I mean, I'm sorry. What gas
I
station?
think it's Sitco.
Yeah, whatever that gas station. They went. I guess it's neither here nor there which one it is. But they went to that gas station. For those listening, if you know the area, look up Union County Savings Bank. You'll see it. And they both had their cards swiped and they got charges from Wawa. It was titled Wawa, but it wasn't really Wawa. So, and it was for like $100 or $200. And the only reason they found out is because other people complained about it, looked at their cards, and found out that the bank was doing this. So if either of you guys, since you live in the area, have been to that bank, I keep saying bank, that gas station recently, check your bank account.
Wait, why were both their cards charged?
Because they both they live near there. They went on separate
so they
days.
both use that at separate times. Yeah. Got you. That's wild.
And so this is crazy that's happening even at I agree with what was said about Wawa. Like, it's surprising when a Wawa or a Quick Check or one of these big names does it, because you're like, it's a pretty reputable name.
Like, Wawa never asks for your debit card, like, PIN.
I don't even give my card I pump my own gas now.
You gave up having someone do it for you?
Literally, every time I go to Wawa, I pump my own gas.
Really? That's surprising. They're normally pretty on top of their attendance.
No, I just show up and do it,
one.
and they thank me every time. So at this point, I'm like not taking any chances.
Wow.
Like, I feel like this is what I'm confused about. Every gas station has their own little protocol type thing. Mm-hmm. Like, I have been asked for my PIN number, I think, years ago. Not recently.
Zip code I've gotten a few times.
Oh, zip code all the time. But why do certain ones why do you have to sign at certain ones and other ones you don't?
I have no idea, but I would never give my PIN. I think if they said, I need your PIN, I'd say no.
Yeah.
Because there's no reason they should need it. They could just click the circle, like the green circle, and it runs it.
So if you're ever pumping your own gas, like out of state, I've used my debit card before, and I had to put my PIN in to get my gas.
But you can override it to make it go through credit.
Really?
Yeah.
So you just hit green.
Oh, there's another thing that happens is there's skimming. I think they're called skimmers.
I was going to bring this up, yeah.
Where it's an attachment that looks exactly like the front-facing facade of where you would
just
insert
attach to it.
It just attaches over it.
Yeah, I've seen that.
And so you're swiping your card through the gas station's one, and on the way in, it's going through this skimming device. So yeah, this is a great warning from our caller, and I would say if you are living in Jersey, you got to be aware. There's so many nutcases trying to swipe your money. And the other thing I've realized is you got to look at your bank statement. I know that sounds ridiculous, but
100%.
It's hard to. I trust my bank to alert me of fraud, but I've realized recently you just got to go line by line on your statement
all the time.
See what's going on, because you never know. And that actually brings me into this first story of the night, an actual issue for residents of New Jersey, and that's what our first story of the night is about. Because especially for PNC Bank customers, which are, I don't know, this is kind of personal. Do either of you bank with PNC?
No.
I do not.
Okay, well, for those that bank with them and go to see country concerts at PNC Bank Arts Arena.
Ooh.
No, I'm kidding. Unrelated. Okay.
That's you.
Yeah, here's the first headline of the night. If you live in New Jersey, you may have been the victim to ATM fraud.
All over the place.
It's time to check your bank accounts. So PNC Bank is urging all New Jersey customers to check their accounts immediately to see if there are any unauthorized ATM withdrawals. A rapidly growing fraud investigation has already identified dozens of victims in multiple counties. Many more are expected. New Jersey 1015 first reported on the fraud in October after South Brunswick police identified at least 5 victims. Wow. This morning, that number is growing to 30, and still growing. South Brunswick police have released a photo of the suspect they believe is responsible for at least one of the illegal withdrawals. We'll throw that photo up for you guys, but this is an issue.
So if you're just using the ATM machine at PNC, you're at risk? How are people doing this?
Yeah, so I think it's ATM skimmers. So this is what it would look like. I'll pull one up for you, Chomik.
How are they doing that at the bank, though?
I don't know.
You just put it over the ATM.
I know, but like at a bank, how do you get away with that?
Look, just nobody notices for a while.
You just show up and slap it on.
Yeah.
And then you just leave it on?
Yeah.
How would you notice? Like if you showed up to put your card in and stuck that on.
You're not inspecting the ATM.
Well, Josh, bring up the article because remember, I want to see the photo of the guy.
Yeah, so the photo of the guy is pretty unrecognizable. He's just a guy with a mask on. Let's read some of these replies on Twitter for pure entertainment.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, someone responded, "What scum? My account was compromised. $300. I hope this crumb." Someone said, "I hope this crumb gets what is coming to him. This person is evil." That sounds like something like a 1950s superhero would say. You're a crumb.
So the guy just comes and like collects that piece after like a certain amount of time. Is that how it's skimming works?
I don't know that that's exactly what's happening in this situation, but that is how skimming works.
No, because like I feel like a bank would immediately catch that. Like I don't think these guys are putting that stuff on at banks, guys. But also, could this be like a PNC? Don't they have like ATM machines
Yeah,
in
they
random
got-
spots?
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't have to be at a bank. Could be at some random corner store, and you put it on there, and that's it.
Interesting.
So if you're listening to this, go check your bank account. And I would say if you've gone to a gas station recently and had a weird encounter as well, go check your bank account. There's just a lot of fraud going around in this state, and we gotta resolve it.
But you know what? That's the great thing about a credit card. I've had been fraud. My parents have gotten frauded, and it all works out in the end with the credit card.
Every time, dude, my card, the credit card company has caught it. It's
Yeah.
happened to me like 4 or 5 times.
amazing.
I just had to get a new card, but like, hey, they stop it.
I'd rather get a new card than.
Yeah, it comes in within like 2 days, and you
Yeah.
just like cut up your old card. It's not a problem at all.
And that's why you always use a credit card over a debit card.
I use my debit card a lot.
I use my debit card way over
Straight
the credit
cash,
card.
baby.
Jimmy's giving some crazy
Much
financial advice.
rather
Are you
use
trying
a
to get
credit
those
card.
points? You trying to get those free flights?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you guys are going to make me furious today. Let's move on to the next story. On New Year's Day, the driver of a stolen vehicle drove off a 20-foot embankment and landed on someone's driveway.
It's a great way to ring in the new year.
Straight out of a movie.
For real.
And this is in North Caldwell, New Jersey. Video shows a stolen car crash landing on a home and parked car, barely missing a man who was walking on the street just after midnight on New Year's. The driver of the stolen car was on Hilltop Drive in North Caldwell around 12:30 a.m. and tried to take off when police arrived. So if you watch this video, this car goes flying and this guy is in his driveway and the car almost lands on him.
It's 12:30. He probably just got home from like a New Year's party. He's about to go to sleep, and then all of a sudden you just hear this like thing flying out of the sky, and it's a car crashing onto your car.
Insane.
What a way to start the year.
It says the driver lost control, fell 20 feet down an embankment, flipping onto its roof and landing on a house, and a vehicle parked in the driveway. So the occupants of the house safely got out of the house. 2 people inside the stolen vehicle ran away from the scene and eventually were admitted to a hospital where police took them into custody.
That's the most impressive part. These guys just got out of their car and
walked away.
ran.
Cha-ching. Well,
They
if
dropped like 12 feet or 20 feet they dropped.
Insane.
they had to have broken bones and stuff, right?
Well, they went straight to a hospital. That's where they
Had to
got
be
caught.
there had to be some serious pain going on.
Let's play back the video. Let's see
Check out
what
this.
we're dealing with here.
That's a rocket ship. That's not the video.
It was sort of like a rocket ship.
Let's watch it again. Oh my!
Dude, that's crazy. And the guy's just standing there. Like, play it one more time.
He kind
Play
of
that
freaks
back.
out.
Look how the car is like toppled too. Like, it must have been some work getting out of that car.
I gotta say how impressive though the balcony on the side of his house really withheld that car.
Yeah, bro.
Like it should have crushed it. I feel like, bam, just bounced off of it.
Yeah, man. Oh my gosh.
North Caldwell, man. I might have to move next to the parkway up there. I feel like I know exactly where this is. Let me see. Hold on. North Caldwell, NJ.
Does it say the exact address?
No, but oh wait, it's way up by. So how do you come off the parkway? I don't know. For some reason, I thought it said something about the parkway. I guess they were just on another local road there.
Yeah, another parkway, not the Garden State.
Yes, but interesting nonetheless. And this guy had the most exciting start to a new year because this car could have crushed him, and he watches it fall. You could see in the video he's kind of like dumbfounded, like what is going on right now? This car just flew into my driveway.
Was it a nice car that it crushed? Like, did he have a decent, like a nice car in that driveway? I couldn't really tell from the video.
Let's try to get a look. It looks.
Can you see in that still? Like, maybe is there something in there?
That looks to me.
It's like some sort of SUV.
It looks like a Ford. I don't know. It looks nice. Maybe something nicer than a Ford, but it looks pretty.
Hey, Fords
sweet.
are pretty nice.
Nothing against the Ford.
Let's hope he had some good car insurance there, boys.
Yeah. Well, luckily, someone's Ring doorbell across the street captured the whole thing.
Dude, the Ring doorbells are always coming in clutch.
Yes.
If that was my house, I would want that on video. I would be so mad if no one caught that.
Yeah, I agree. I could totally agree.
I would
with
also
that.
call all the boys over and be like, yo, check out this like car flip. Let's take some photos for the memes.
Well, do you remember a few years ago we were all over Chelsea's house and something similar happened down the street?
No, what happened?
Yeah, it was either like Chelsea or Jacob's birthday. Steve was there, and there's all this like police activity down the street.
On Raritan?
No.
On Westfield, I mean?
No, on one of the back roads.
Really?
It was by Bartell Park.
Oh, I don't think I was there. What happened?
So this car was going down the side street like really fast, and it was a corner house, and they had this like brick wall, and the car went right into the brick wall and ended up on this house's roof.
On the roof?
Yeah.
Dude, that's crazy.
I have pictures of it. I'll show you after.
Yeah, I want to throw that in here so people could see that.
Yeah,
that's
it's
absolutely
crazy.
insane.
I have photos.
So it was just super loud?
I think we saw like all the flashing lights down the street or something.
Sheesh.
It was crazy.
Aren't you glad that wasn't your house it ran into?
Yeah, insane.
Well, I will say I have a family member in law enforcement. They always tell it. My whole family every year, New Year's Eve into early New Year's Day is the worst time to be on the road. It's when the most accidents happen. People always die, and that actually leads into our next story, which is another ridiculous headline, actually pretty sad. And that is that New Jersey has hit a milestone of traffic deaths for a 4th year straight.
It's horrible.
And it's probably, isn't it like the most deaths in 15 years?
Yeah, it's the most deaths in 15 years, but year over year, the last 4 years, we keep breaking records, which is weird because you have to think through COVID, most people were at home, right? Or they were working from home at least. And even in those years, we were breaking records. So here's what it says. It says, New Jersey set another grim record for traffic deaths in 2022 as the number of people killed on the state roads rose again. As of Friday, 698 people had died in crashes in New Jersey this year. The number topped the 2021 deaths of 697. So just by one more person's death, we broke the record, which is...
That's crazy how the numbers are that close.
Yeah, it's weird. And
It's a lot.
I didn't know that almost 700 people die a year in car crashes in New Jersey.
Horrible.
That's why they say, like, don't be scared of shark attacks because, like, you have a way higher chance of dying on Route 78 than you do swimming in the Jersey Shore.
Yeah, but I don't like that stat because how many people swim next to a shark versus how many people drive every day?
No, exactly. That's why are so many people afraid of sharks? Like, you should be afraid of driving next to these crazy New Jerseyans.
Yeah, and it's crazy to think if 300 people die a day, you're talking 700 people die a year. That means about 2 people die every single day.
Wow.
That's really crazy.
That's
to think
really
about.
sad. And not, like, aside from deaths, think about how many car accidents there are
Yeah.
in this state. It's like constantly. Like, dude, you see car accidents every single day.
Yep.
I don't get though, like if 2 people die every day in New Jersey.
Yeah. What's it nationwide?
Well, no, not that, but like I feel like I should hear about, like on the roads near me, I see accidents, but I feel like it's not often I see an accident where I'm like, oh, somebody died. And we're in an area where I feel like if people are going to get in those accidents, it'd be this part of Jersey.
Well, like when I'm compiling stories for the pod every single week, dude, like I have to pass so many car accident death stories. There's too many. And like I don't put them in here because they're all the same thing. It's super sad, but like there's nothing really new to report on.
Nationwide, there's 102 per day deaths due to car accidents.
So here's
That's like to a state.
the question.
Makes sense.
Yep.
The question I have though is, well, that doesn't make sense though. 2 a day, that makes us look good then because we're so densely populated. But the question I have is, how are accidents still going up as all these smart cars get rolled out?
I think it's kind of there's not enough smart cars, and 2, you're going to keep having accidents as long as you have human-driven cars also driving with these smart cars.
Yeah, it's those people crashing into the smart cars.
No, but I'm saying the number of drivers that are in cars without lane assist and the emergency. My mother-in-law has a Volvo, right, like an XC something, and I was driving it, and this thing slammed on the brakes for me when I was backing out of a spot because there was a family coming up the road on their bikes, and it was like it was very dramatic the way it did it, but I was like, whoa, that's crazy.
That's nuts.
It slammed on. It freaked me out, and what I realized, my point I was making was the number of cars in New Jersey slowly is turning over more Teslas, more Volvos, more of these cars that have these features. So shouldn't we slowly begin to see the number decline, even with all the people like us 3 don't have smart cars, but like you would think there should be some impact on the number, right?
All it takes is for one stupid mistake from one person, and you see how populated the highways are. Yeah. How everyone's, dude. If you go tomorrow, guys, I want you all listening to tomorrow when you're driving on the highway. Look around you at people around you on the road, you're going to be amazed how many people are on their cell phones. I did it the other day.
Yeah.
Everyone
Yep.
is on their phones driving. It's actually terrifying.
I was going to say that might be the number one reason because people got even more addicted to phones through COVID. TikTok became a huge thing.
Yes.
TikTok is like the addiction cyclone of the internet. Like you get on there and it's game over.
Yeah.
But you're right. Like I told you guys, I like to beep at people when I see them on their phones. And I do the hand thing, hang up.
Jimmy, you're pretty good. Like if you're driving, like you don't usually like
No.
answer my FaceTimes or like text me back.
Yeah.
Like you're one like the few of my friends who don't.
I'll answer the FaceTime if it's on the magnet thing. I won't be like staring at you, but I don't mind if you're talking to me while I'm driving.
In my new car, if I'm on CarPlay, I can't do FaceTime.
Yeah, it
It
blocks
just doesn't let me.
It'll do FaceTime audio.
Yeah, like I
But
could talk
that's
to
it.
my friend. My friend, I could see my friend, right? Oh
No,
yeah, but you
uh-uh.
can't see me.
I don't
Or
think
it's
you-
flipped. It's one of those.
I don't think you could see either.
Nonetheless, these new cars are like making it so you can't do that kind of stuff. But all it takes is for me to disconnect from CarPlay and still use it. So like, it doesn't really help unless you actually want to help yourself.
Well, now there's cars that track your eyes. Have you seen this?
No.
So if your eyes are not on the road, an alarm sensor,
Yeah.
kind of like your seatbelt alarm,
No
will start
way.
beeping and say eyes on the road.
Who's
I
doing
was
that?
actually in one of these cars. It was my rental car in Oregon.
And like, did it stop you from like?
No, it beeped. It
It-
did.
So if you look
It's
at like
just like
down, it beeps.
It's like a really annoying beep. It's kind of like your seatbelt unbuckled. Same concept.
But like, what if you're looking, you have a coffee, like, and you look down for like a second? Is it gonna like beep? Or
I don't
like,
think if you look for a second, but if you're constantly like,
are these all new vehicles that are doing this, or is it just certain makes?
I don't know what vehicle that was. I saw a TikTok
Interesting.
while I was driving. No, I'm kidding.
Is that a solution though for the future, guys?
I think that's a dumb.
Or do we go back to like old school ways and just pray that people are just smarter with themselves?
I think
We don't need this technology to save us.
everyone thinks they're invincible,
yeah,
and I almost don't want cars to get too smart because then everybody will really be absent-minded. Behind the wheel of a vehicle, you need to pay attention.
Yeah.
You can't be staring at your phone.
well, eventually, you're going to be able to get in your vehicle, and you're just going to say, "Hey, vehicle, take me here," and
Well, people
go
do it
drive
already.
Yeah, but everyone will be like that.
Well, do you think it'll get to a point where it always gets that? Like people are
I
always
hope
gonna,
not. I love driving.
Yeah, because like people love to drive.
I would much rather be on like a 8-hour car ride and drive myself than sit as like a passenger and let the
I don't-
car drive for me.
Do you guys use cruise control?
No, never.
Oh, I love cruise control.
Never.
I live and
Yeah,
die
you,
by
well,
the
you know me.
the
Like
control.
we've driven across the country. Like I don't use it. I think
Wait, really?
I never use cruise control because on a long drive, I think I get more tired if I use cruise control. Like I
Yeah,
feel like I
you're-
need to be doing something to keep me focused on the road.
If I'm on a
you're not in
road,
there.
if I'm on a road where it's the speed limit's over 25, I'm cruise controlling.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah, if I'm on I'm so addicted to cruise control that
That's
if I go on like a
wild.
road that's 50 miles an hour, it's on.
Wow.
It's just a habit. Like I click it and turn it on.
What do you do with your foot?
It just chills.
It relaxes.
I drop it down. But the thing is, it's just good for your gas mileage, and
That's true. Yeah, it does help your
it's
gas
just
mileage.
there's a convenience factor to it. I never used it until I had a newer car,
Mm-hmm.
and now that I have it readily available, I'm like, why not?
I've never used cruise control on my Jeep.
Okay, I'm glad I'm not the only one.
You should start trying. I'm telling you, when you get on the highway,
Dude, I've tried.
it brings
Yeah.
some of the thinking out of driving because sometimes on
Well, that's
New Jersey
that's when
highways-
people get lazy though.
No, I'm saying the thinking of like, stop. A lot of times we make driving more complicated than it needs to be. Just sit in your lane and go the speed limit, or go if it's going 5 over, go 5 over and sit there. Like there's no need to you go 75 or go 70 or whatever it is. You don't need to go around everybody at 78 miles an hour. It's too much work. Just chill. You're not saving that much time. Just put the control on, roll in the middle lane, do your thing. You're fine. That's it. That's life.
You guys are gonna love this. I was driving home from Vermont on Monday, and I was in the left lane on the throughway, and the guy in front of me, I was going about like 80 miles per hour, like the normal speed that you do on the left lane, because I think the throughway is like 65 miles per hour in
Yes.
certain areas. The dude in front of me was just probably going like 70, 75, so slow. Guess what his plate was?
Jersey.
New York.
Wow.
Oh wait, sorry. Pennsylvania.
Oh wait, really?
Yeah, I was in New York. The guy had a Pennsylvania plate going 60, like 65 in the left lane. Terrible. And, that happened to me a few times on my drive. So
Well, PA drivers are the worst. We can all agree on that, right?
PA, and these New Yorkers are awful too.
Josh, you brought up an interesting point though with the cell phones, and it actually links to our next story.
I love all these stories. This story train we're on.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
Story
I'm
train.
working
You're
on having a flow of thought. It actually links in perfectly with our next story, which is a weird one, and you're going to want to hear this one out. But here's what it says: New Jersey legislators have clarified a law stating that you can use your phone while driving only to use Maps applications.
I didn't know this. I wasn't aware of this.
Apparently, and I advise everybody to hear the full story before you go driving around with your phone. But
Are we confirmed that this is true before we announce this? Well, I don't even know.
Let me read it has the ruling in the article, so I'll read the article and then we can discuss it. It said, a state appeals court has clarified what has long been a gray area in New Jersey's anti-texting while driving laws. The court essentially ruled that while it is lawful to open an app on your phone for navigation while driving, tapping in the password for the app is illegal.
Can I use Face ID?
I guess so. I don't see why that would be
once I'm in the
illegal.
Maps app, like if I have to type in an address, that's clearly illegal.
Well, you
right?
got to do it. You got to pull over and then type where you're going.
That's what I'm saying. Like, just set up your map before you leave,
Exactly.
and then you're fine.
Yeah.
So in November 2019, Michelangelo Troisi was driving in Princeton when a police officer saw him using his phone. He was pulled over and given a ticket for texting while driving and fined $206. He appealed, claiming he was only opening the Google Maps app on his phone and typed in the password. He said he told the police officer who stopped him. And guess what? He still got the ticket. I don't see you getting away with it. If you're on your phone,
it looks like you're
phone.
texting. It looks like you're texting. You can't like really prove that.
So it says there is a provision in the law, NJSA 39:4-97.3.
Whoa.
That states the definition of hand-free use shall not preclude the use of either a hand to activate, deactivate, or initiate a function of the telephone.
What did you just say? Can you read that quote?
Shall not preclude the use of either hand. Should I ask GPT to explain what that means to me?
Ooh, can you do that? Can we get AI into this podcast?
Let's because it's good with law stuff. I feel like. I think the double negative is what confuses me. Shall not. What does this quote mean in simple terms?
It's gonna write up something for you.
This quote means that using either your left or right hand is allowed when operating a telephone or using its features.
That's completely wrong.
But wait, hold on. Shall not preclude. Preclude means...
Yeah, can we look at the definition of preclude?
Dude, I feel so dumb tonight.
I know.
To prevent from happening. Yeah, so shall not preclude. So it's not going to stop you. Right? So it's not going to stop you from either using a hand to activate or deactivate. That doesn't, I don't know. We need a lawyer. So it's confusing language. But the law is saying that you can use your phone just to operate a Maps app, which sounds dumb to me.
So what? Just open it? That's it?
I guess so.
Operating a Maps app mean?
I think that the law should be you're not allowed to use a Maps app or anything while driving.
Well, because it looks like you're texting no matter what you're doing.
You're still just as distracted.
100%,
What's the difference?
Yeah.
Difference between typing in an address and texting your friend. There is no difference.
That's why this whole story is like, it's dumb because it's like, how are you going to prove yourself? That like if you were on your phone on Google Maps only, just opening it up. How do you?
I don't think there is a way to
ticket?
prove yourself, and I think that we should advise all of our listeners and viewers of this video just stay off your phone. We just reported that New Jersey had more deaths by vehicle this year than in any year in the last 15 years, and year over year, every year it goes up. So get off your phone and pay attention to the road. Thank you.
$206 for the ticket, though.
Yeah.
Is that for like if I'm texting and driving, it's only $206?
I think it goes up as like if you have more than one offense.
I'm just asking for a friend. Like, say I did get a ticket for like texting and driving. Is there any points for that?
I'm going to guess yes, but we're going to wait for Jimmy Parks to let us know.
If a driver violates the texting and driving law 3 times or more, that driver will receive 3 points assigned to his license.
So is
3 times or more.
But is it like 1 point for each time, or is it like once you're at the third one, you get 3 points?
Once you get to the third one, you get 3 points.
Oh wow, okay.
That's ridiculous.
Yo, when's the last time you guys got a ticket?
Oh, a long time ago.
I'm trying to think.
I haven't got a ticket in like 10 years. Actually, no, I got a ticket out of state once, but like not in Jersey. I've been on a hot streak.
It's probably 8 years ago.
For what?
I ran a red light.
Why? Because you were texting and driving?
No, I was following someone, and I went.
Okay, that's fair.
It was like barely red. Mm-hmm. It was like yellow.
You checked yourself before you crossed.
And the cop was like right there, and he just pulled me over.
It's the worst feeling.
But he couldn't prove that I actually ran the red light, so he gave me a ticket for not having insurance, and all I had to do was go to court and prove I had insurance, and that was fine.
Nice.
So he cut me a break.
Wow. Must be nice to be Jimmy Parks. Let's move on to our next story that's unrelated to texting, driving, or any of the stories we've just read.
Oh, I thought you were gonna like do a good segue into this one. Come on, you got to be able to mash them together.
I have a segue, but it's just so inappropriate. And I think this story.
Can you just do it?
No. Oh. All right, here we go. This next story is. I like to always preface the stories that get extremely dark. This is a really sad story out of Kinnelon, New Jersey. In Kinnelon, New Jersey, a search is on the way for 2 men who went missing while ice fishing this past week.
That's dark.
What a horrible way to start 2023.
Yeah. It says a recovery operation is underway after 2 New Jersey ice fishermen are believed to have drowned in the Split Rock Reservoir in Kinnelon, authorities said Sunday morning. The 2 men, a 76-year-old from Passaic and a 64-year-old from Clifton, traveled to Kinnelon Friday to go ice fishing at the Split Rock Reservoir and were reported missing Saturday by family members. Kinnelon police responded Saturday and met family members at the reservoir where the 2 men were believed to have been seen last. Their personal belongings were observed on the shoreline and 2 holes were in the ice approximately 100 yards from the shore, authorities said.
Dude, let me just pause you right there. Like, imagine like you're looking for your loved ones. You get there and you knew they were ice fishing and you see their belongings, but they're not there. Like, dude, that is so heartbreaking.
And I mean, it was cold for a few days there, but it warmed up and
it was super cold. But like, also these guys are older, so you would think they're experienced ice fishermen. Like, you gotta bring that drill out. There's like so much protocol, right? If you're ice fishing to like figure out if it's safe or not.
Yeah, and I think I misspoke before because I know I mentioned that they're searching for both men, but one of the men has been recovered.
Yeah.
It says one man was recovered deceased by an ice rescue team Saturday, but the second man was not recovered as the search was discontinued due to the weather and darkness. So they're still looking for him, but what I want to know is, this was on Saturday. The weather was unseasonably warm on Saturday, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was warm.
That was New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
Which was when you guys went out.
So I would think maybe they thought the ice was so thick from like the previous few weeks of it being like super cold that they were still fine. I don't know what that depth was. I would like to know how thick the ice was. Does it say anywhere in the article?
It didn't.
It wasn't that cold before like the Arctic blast. Like I would guess it was like 5 inches thick, maybe.
Not even that much.
Yeah, right.
I doubt it. And a quick update for you. Actually, both bodies have now been recovered, so super sad.
Wow.
Because everything's probably melted now, so.
Yeah.
It's just really sad. And I don't know. Yeah, the article, I was looking for the article I read. There's no mention of the thickness of the ice or anything like that. But
I think it's just a great reminder for anyone in the Garden State, especially children this time of year. Like every winter, I always got the warning from my parents, like, don't go onto ice. Don't go to the local reservoir and ice skate. Because to be honest, that's what we did as kids. There's a reservoir in town, and it always gets covered in ice in the wintertime, and we go and walk on it. We go slide on it like kids do. But guys, it's so dangerous.
Have you guys ever fallen through ice?
No.
I did once.
Really?
Like deep water?
I was behind Valley Road School.
Okay.
I was like 4th grade maybe. I was hiking with my friend Jimmy Dietz.
Nice.
And we were... What?
Jimmy.
So I was hiking behind Valley Road School with my friend Jimmy Dietz, and
I didn't do it that time.
I know. I was hiking behind Valley Road School.
Okay.
All right.
Just do it.
This is a good
I'm not
story.
going to look at you.
Okay. I was hiking behind Valley Road School.
What's your problem? Go. Now it's hard because Jimmy, you're taking these long pauses. Just go. I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out in post. I'm giving you permission.
I was hiking behind Valley Road School. Why are you laughing? Stop it.
Just go.
What happened?
I was hiding behind.
That's the way he says it. Don't,
Okay, whoa, I got it.
I was talking about Valley.
So I was walking in the woods with my friends once. I was only like in the 4th grade, and it had just snowed.
Yeah.
So there was a light layer of snow. We weren't really sure what we were stepping on, and we actually were walking on some ice that was over a little pool of water. And ice broke. We fell in up to our necks.
Necks?
Yeah, it was deep.
Oh my!
And we're wearing like winter coats and stuff, so
Yeah.
everything's super heavy. And we're just like little kids, so we're trying to get to the edge, but because it was all icy and stuff, it was difficult, and everything was slippery. And then
my
I got
gosh.
myself out. I helped pull my friend out, but it was terrifying.
No one else was there to like rescue you guys?
No, it was just us. And then
Oh
we
my
had
gosh.
to walk back through the woods all soaking wet, and it was
No, but the fact that you got out, like you were neck deep,
Yeah, it was nuts.
dude.
That's exactly what happened to Harry Bailey in It's Wonderful Life.
Did he pass?
No, he survived.
Okay, good.
Thanks to George. That's part of the.
Did your mom
plot.
like yell at you, or like was she concerned when you got home soaking wet?
I guess she was probably concerned, but I guess she believed.
Like, dude, you almost died.
I don't think I've had way more near-death experiences.
I know, but
than
like you
that.
were neck deep in
Yeah,
freezing
but
cold water.
it's not like we were in the middle of like a pond or something. This must have been like just a stream that was cutting through the woods.
I wish like I'm picturing this happening right now. Like I would love to see this. I wish there was like a
Young-
trail cam, a young little Jimmy Parks falling into the ice.
It's crazy. Well,
Yeah, it was terrifying.
I'm glad you survived the ice storm
Yeah,
and you made your way home
thank you.
for some Campbell's chicken noodle soup.
But for real, guys, like if you're gonna go like ice skating on like a lake or like a pond or something like that, like make sure it's like thick. Like what do they tell you is like the normal thickness you need before ice skating on?
That's a really good question. And I'm
It's
not
like a foot, or is that
no,
it's like, what,
I think
it's like 5
2
inches.
I think it's 2 inches.
4 inches, they're saying here.
4 inches. So yeah, I guess that's pretty.
I was thinking 2 inches. That doesn't sound right.
Wait, guys, I just thought about something.
Yeah.
These guys were ice fishing,
Yeah,
Yeah.
so they drilled the holes.
yeah.
They fell into the holes. This is actually interesting. Wait,
No.
Oh, it
the
cracked.
holes they probably saw were bigger than just the holes they drew. Probably the ones around it fell into it.
Okay, that makes sense.
So-
I'm just confirming.
I can't believe that was a real conversation between you two. What did you think they felt?
Now that you think about it, it's like, because they said they saw the 2 holes, so I thought, they each had their hole that they were fishing in. So maybe they slipped through their holes. I don't know. It didn't make sense to me until it didn't make sense to me until you said it now.
Gosh.
But now it makes sense. The mice must have cracked.
Yes.
Okay, just confirming.
That would, but
We're-
I guess
just-
it's a fair question because if they were staying next to each other, it would have been one giant crack. I don't know. Well,
Yeah, there's like no photos or anything like that, so I can't really confirm.
I don't know. For the record, we're laughing at Chomik and not the 2 people who died.
yeah, no. The story's tragic. I think Jimmy's story about him falling on the ice for whatever reason, coupled with me being exhausted for some reason, is giving me the giggles. So I apologize.
Yeah,
but
dude, for
story's
real, like God
tragic.
forbid we say like we laugh once, like people try to cancel us every time there's a giggle. Like today, some girl, she got pissed at me in the comments. She was like, "Oh, the only time you guys get views is when you do awful stories, huh?" And I was like, "Actually, no. It's when we talk about the new go-karting spot in Edison and the American Dream." Well, actually, boom, roasted.
I think the biggest issue is
We're not here like fishing for views.
no, and the other issue is we cut long conversations, like clips out of them.
Yeah.
And we would never take advantage of, or try to make light of some.
Never,
This is like
no.
somebody's a 76-year-old. It's somebody's grandfather.
It's
like.
awful.
But when the clips are cut, sometimes you cut from one thought to another, and there might be a smirk because there's something left out, or we're just talking, and that especially happened with the Rutgers student, which we should clarify that. I mean, that we got so much hate over the Rutgers student story.
Yeah, we took down. Well, TikTok removed it actually because they said that we were we broke the community guidelines, which I don't know how. It's freedom of speech.
So for those that don't know,
I think people just reported it.
So for those that don't know, there was a student at Rutgers who was pledging for a fraternity, drank too much, and fell down a staircase, and now he's in the hospital. And he's trying to sue the fraternity. And we came down pretty hard saying that's kind of ridiculous because everybody knows if you're going to pledge for a frat, that's what you're going to do. But the point we were making was neither of us is in favor of frats. Never has been, never will be. Like,
No.
we didn't join frats. Jimmy Parks wasn't in a frat. And
People thought we were defending the frat.
Yeah, I had a dude from a frat in Udell coming after me going,
No way.
You guys are clowns. You just want to make, you want to get views on. I'm like, bro, you're the guy in a frat. I responded to him, I was like, hey, bro, have you ever seen somebody at a frat party inebriated to the point where they could maybe, I don't know, fall down a staircase and injure themselves? And he was like, well, that's besides the point. I'm like, no, that's exactly the point, is this is what you guys do.
Yeah.
And then you get mad at people like me for telling the story and making fun of the stupid college culture where people drink too much. That pissed me off. I'm sorry. It really annoyed me because it's like, it's just so ridiculous that we call out a hypocrisy in our culture, and then I have a frat kid coming after me bragging about, and in his bio, he had his frat. It was like Sigma Chi or whatever.
Nice.
And I was like, dude, do you not see the irony in this? That the debauchery and the acting like a fool leads to injuries, and then you're not a victim to anybody because you're responsible for your decisions. But I don't want to get back into that. I feel
Let it out, brother.
I removed the video because I really feel for the kid's family, because if that was my brother or my cousin or whatever, I would feel it doesn't matter the circumstances. It's horrible. They're in the hospital, but it made me nuts that all these people came after us. I was like, oh my. So yeah, we don't find any of this stuff to be funny. We just are telling you what's happening, and we're also idiots. So
I wouldn't say all of us are idiots.
maybe just me.
Yeah, speak for yourself. We're all intellectuals over here. But yeah, guys, we cut our clips into 60 seconds. We're taking a 20-minute conversation into 60 seconds. So everyone, if you take something, every time someone like doesn't understand something that we say, like on an Instagram, or they get mad, all I say is listen to the full length. They get so mad with the short answer. But like, honestly, that's true.
Yeah. So, all right, let's move on to this next story, which is a little bit more lighthearted. The nearly 200 dogs and cats found in a Brick, New Jersey home will soon be up for adoption.
Great news. Great news.
Yeah, so we reported on this last month. There was a house where a woman had like 188 dogs and cats.
Crazy.
Woof.
And there was two women actually, and they got arrested. And now these dogs are in a shelter, and they're going to be up for adoption. So if you want to rescue a dog, here is your opportunity.
There's a lot.
Yeah, it says some of the nearly 200 pets rescued from nightmarish conditions at a Jersey Shore home will soon be up for adoptions, officials are announcing. About 135 dogs and 45 cats were saved from the Crazy Rescue Ladies shelter in Brick Township. Wow, that was the name of...
I like how that's their name. Or I don't know if the news gave them that name.
Wow.
The Crazy Rescue Ladies. Yeah, they're pretty nuts.
The last article we read didn't have that title. Is
No,
that the
I
name of their
didn't-
business? Like, ironically, they called themselves the Crazy Rescue
That would be
Ladies?
so funny if they did.
The Crazy Rescue Ladies shelter in Brick Township after police found the animals living in stacked crates filled with their own waste early this month. So as Daily Voice reported, now the Ocean County Health Department says some of those dogs will be available for adoption at the shelters in Jackson Township in Manahawkin. So
It's great news.
weirdly enough, the Crazy Rescue Ladies
They're living up to their name.
Well, they may have inadvertently gotten all these dogs homes because they were trying to rescue dogs, and then they got on the news, and now people are going to go, wow, I got to adopt these dogs. They need home. Not to make light of...
From the ladies who were trying to rescue them.
Yeah. Imagine the Crazy Rescue Ladies start trying to adopt them.
I don't want those crazy rescue ladies to adopt anyone.
But, it's a good reminder.
crazy.
Everybody likes to, take care of the animals, and this is your shot to take care of a dog or a cat.
There were a lot of comments from that video. People were like, how can I adopt a dog? How can I adopt a cat?
Yeah.
Like, this is great. Like, I want to help the cause. So now, like, there's an opportunity for you to help out.
Yep.
And get yourself a little nice dog or cat.
So if you want to adopt one, I would reach out to one of the adoption shelters in Jackson Township or Manahawkin.
There's a website, actually.
You can visit ochd.org for more details and pictures of some of the available pets. So I'm going to click on that real quick and see if they're available. This is just a shelter. So
Should we get a Garden State mascot?
Absolutely not.
I would love that.
That would be so cool. But Jimmy, you want to take care of it?
No, so we'll take care of it.
So
man.
has his own little mascot on the way.
Yeah, that is our mascot, I think.
Exactly.
Look at
Your
this
kid
dog.
needs a dog. Yeah, perfect. See
Yo,
that
I'm gonna put all these photos up on the TikTok. Like, look at that photo.
His name's
You guys got to
Hops.
go to this website. These dogs are so cute, dude.
And the cats too, man. Look
Wait,
at
do
this
the animals
guy.
have like bios?
Yeah, they do.
Descriptions about themselves?
This one's name is Versace.
What's Versace's deal? What's he
Versace
about?
is a friendly and playful boy with a lot of energy. He loves to play with toys, walks nicely on a leash, loves treats, and will take them very gently from you. Versace would do best in a home with children over the age of 7 years old, and he may be too much for younger children.
That wouldn't be good for you, Sobs.
It's a pit bull mix.
He's a pit mix, baby.
Wow.
Look at that
Guys, this
cute
what,
little face.
is this how all pet adoption sites are? Do like animals have like, I've never tried to adopt an animal.
Yeah, and a lot of them, they go quick.
That's so cool.
But not always, so you should adopt one. All right, moving on to this next story. In South Orange, New Jersey, lawmakers have decided against face recognition when it upgrades its new street security cameras.
So, dude, you're telling me a town in their downtown
Yes.
area wants to have face recognition cameras?
No, they said
I
no.
don't want to.
Oh, they don't
They
want
said
to.
no to the
Oh,
face
thank me. I
recognition.
was about to say, I'm not going anywhere near that town.
And this is a headline that
That's
could only
freaky.
exist in 2023.
But you
Right?
know what, Joe? There's probably places you go right now that have these cameras and you just don't know it.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
No shot.
Yeah.
There's towns in Jersey doing this. How's
Yeah.
that legal?
They're saying no to them, which means other towns definitely have said yes
Without
to them.
telling the public that they're doing it?
I don't know.
You think these towns are like have facial recognition like
think
everywhere?
so.
I don't know, man.
I don't know if all towns, but I'm sure some like cities and stuff do.
Dude, screw that.
I'm looking in the news right now because that's a great question. South Orange is the only thing I see, but I think it's super creepy.
I don't want
And-
I don't want to walk in a downtown area, dude. Like in them knowing I'm there.
Yeah, well, it's the future. That's what happens in China right now.
They just know where you are at all
They
times.
have like everyone's profile.
That's terrible.
Well, I feel like it's gonna happen, even if enough people would need to raise their voice, and people just don't for this kind of stuff. There's gonna be people that are in favor of it, going, "Oh, it's a great way to track down criminals," and it's like, no, I don't want myself for the. I don't know.
So the fact that they were considering this, but like lawmakers were like, nah, no shot.
Yeah, I guess it was on the table at least, and they decided against it.
Well, that's good. I hope they're not doing it anywhere else in Jersey.
That's some good news for the state of New Jersey. For once in this state, lawmakers have decided to protect your identity in some small way.
Yeah, get out of here.
So, should I read you the article? Do you want to hear what it says?
Yeah, we need some information.
So, South Orange, New Jersey will not install facial recognition software when it upgrades its street security cameras after questions were raised about whether the technology is unreliable and prone towards misidentifying people of color, local officials said. We will not be using facial recognition technology, South Orange Village President Sheena Collum said. There were a lot of concerns by our residents. The last thing we want to do is be using something that will disproportionately impact people of a certain race. So their fear wasn't even the fact that it's just generally creepy.
Yeah.
Their fear was we don't want to be looked at as racist, which sounds very South Orange. That'd be their main concern. But nonetheless, I mean, if that's an issue as well, that's a good reason not to use it. But that's the whole thing is like, how are you going to know how accurate it is?
So instead of this facial recognition, they're just going to use normal cameras, right?
It's the same type of system we've had going.
Yeah, just security cameras everywhere.
Yeah.
Cool.
So
That's a little bit of good news. We should look into it this week though, Josh, and see if there's any towns actually doing that.
So here's a quote. And I think that there's always a lot of hysteria around this type of headline. So let's try to get a little bit more information before we get an email from someone from NJ.com or something saying, hey, you don't know what you're talking about. These cameras, this is a quote, these cameras don't tell us who the person is. They don't recognize a face at all, he said. They do not connect to any database that would allow us to identify a person. In plain English, they cannot recognize a face. So what are they doing then? The confusion over the cameras led to a larger community debate about putting policies in place that would ensure South Orange would never enable the devices to use facial recognition technology. So I guess it won't be happening, but it says facial recognition uses biometrics to map the facial characteristics of a person caught on camera. Those features are then entered into a database that contain millions of other faces in pursuit of a match. So we're getting conflicting information out of this article. I don't know how else a facial recognition camera would work other than identifying key characteristics of a face and then putting them into a database and then pulling them out. Like what else? What else could possibly?
That's why it's unnecessary. Glad these towns aren't doing it. Hopefully, no one else is doing this, and we don't need that.
So here's another quote. So it said, so many New Jerseyans should have this concern about facial recognition, said Dylan Reisman, an attorney with the American Civil Liberties Union in Newark. It can be discriminatory, it can be inaccurate, it can be unreliable, and it can be very invasive in terms of privacy. Well, yeah,
you can say that again.
That is the most, shout out to Dylan. He's spot on. Like, it's absolutely, I mean, we're on camera as it is right now. Anybody that thinks you haven't been on a camera today, like a public,
you're wrong.
You're wrong.
Dude, you're on your cell phone. Like,
yeah, exactly. Like
your face has been seen.
It's like that murder that happened out in that college. They're saying that the guy had his cell phone with him, and that's part of, I guess, I don't know about this case enough to say, but apparently that was part of it.
Yeah.
Like, you're not getting away with it. So, shout out to South Orange for making a good call here. I think we got to get rid of this facial recognition garbage.
Well, us enabling it on our iPhones, is that enabling the problem?
No, I don't think so, because it's one thing for you to have a phone in your hand and consent to it, right? Versus a camera on your traffic light, having a database running at all times, going, oh, Joshua Wasinski was in the middle of town at 3
Yeah,
p.m.
dude, no shot.
Like, it would know I was there.
That's
and have
weird.
That just creeps me out.
Yeah.
So
that's the scary future we're living in, bro.
our last headline of the night, New Jersey State Police are on the hunt for a man that killed an 80-year-old woman in a hit and run. And we need your help to track this guy down. Here's a photo of him if you're watching this on social media. It says New Jersey State Police have identified the victim of a fatal hit and run accident in Cape May County Thursday evening. Her name was Marjorie Straubmuller. An 80-year-old woman from Ocean View was fatally struck by a vehicle at the intersection of Stagecoach Road and Brewhouse Lane in Upper Township, police said. Witnesses saw a man in a car at the scene, but the vehicle left before the police arrived. State police are seeking the public's assistance in tracking down the driver. Police said the vehicle was described as a gray or silver SUV, possibly a Jeep Cherokee, with 1 or 2 OC bumper stickers.
Oh, thank God it's not mine.
The driver was described as a white man, could be you, in his 50s, never mind, about
Thank
5'10" to 6'2" and weighing 220 to 250 pounds. He wore glasses,
Way
had
off.
short gray hair, and was balding, according to the police. So if you've seen this guy, let's track him down. Justice for Marjorie. This is just not right. And so I know this is going to be a weird opinion to have, but hit and runs are a weird thing because it could happen to any of us. And that's why you need to pay attention on the road.
Yeah.
Like, you could hit somebody accidentally. And I think obviously the part of this that's really messed up is to leave the scene. There's no way that ends well for you. You hit somebody, just stop the car and call the cops. You got to own it.
Like, she was not in a vehicle, right? Like, she was actually hit by the car.
I think she was just, it didn't say, again, in the article, it doesn't say if she was on foot, but I'm assuming she was on foot.
Okay.
I don't understand what the goal is, especially when, this actually ties in with the entire night with traffic.
Like, how do they know they're going to get away?
The cameras, there's cameras everywhere. They're going to find this guy. He'll be arrested for it.
Another manhunt, eh?
Yeah, another manhunt in the state of New Jersey. So with that was all the stories we had tonight. And if you happen to see this gentleman, if you're watching this video, call the state police and let's track him down.
Did you see they caught the other guy from our manhunt the other week?
Really?
Yeah, they caught the dude in Montville.
In Montville,
yeah,
that's right.
in a
I saw
hotel room shootout, bro.
We should have
Straight
reported
from
on
a
that.
movie.
We should have reported on
I
that.
threw it on our
Shoot.
story, but like, dude, like that was good news. Like they got the guy. Unfortunately, like it went down in a pretty scary manner. Like the cops were being shot at by this maniac,
Yeah.
but they had to kill him because he just went rogue. But they got him.
At a motel.
Everyone in the comments were like, "This guy's way gone. He's out of the state." He was probably like 5 minutes away from where the crime happened too, which is like these guys like what do they think they're gonna live in a motel for the rest of their lives? Like what's his plan?
This man on the run. I don't know. Well, his plan ended.
On the run in the same town. Like,
Yeah,
you're not
that's
going
true.
anywhere, bro.
That's true.
You're Montville.
So, did you have any closing thoughts as we finish this out?
Yeah, I have this really sick hat on right now that we just restocked. So, guys, our Garden State hat is back in the shop. So, if you guys actually wanted a hat, you guys can go to www.thegardenstate.com and get your own. And support the show.
I love that, man. It looks good on you.
I like your shirt. That's cool, too.
Thanks, brother. Thank you.
The merch is just... We're working on new stuff right now, too. So that's really exciting.
I have a few ideas coming down the pipe. Is it the pipe or the pike?
The pipe.
Oh, I was going to say pike.
Pipe. No, it's coming down the pipe. Like,
No, I thought it was the pike. Coming down the pike. Like coming down the park, turnpike.
That's a Jersey saying?
The phrase, because I hear people say both. The phrase references any main road. Coming down the pike versus coming down the pipe. Grammarist.
Oh, it's great.
Pike.
There's two different meanings.
It's got to be pike.
Okay, but don't be surprised if you hear someone saying coming down the pipe. The phrase stresses. Okay, so it is coming down the pike with a K.
What does it say for pipe, though, in the description?
It's just saying, like, people say that by accident, but it means the same thing.
I thought it was like a water pipe. Like, water goes through a pipe coming down the pipe. Not the pike. That's the first time I ever heard of that.
So I always thought the same thing, Joe. Well,
Yeah.
they give two examples. They give examples of both being used in major publications like the Toronto Sun, the Washington Post, the New York Times. So I guess it could be either.
They're both acceptable in our culture.
With that, we've got a lot coming down the pike for all you listeners. One thing we want to let you know, you said we were going to talk about next week. I want to slowly drip it. We may be at the Polar Bear Plunge this year.
Ooh.
And if you want to be a part of it, you'll get more info next week. We're going to hang out, jump in the ocean, raise money for the Special Olympics.
So it's confirmed we're going to do it?
Yeah.
I say we do
think
it.
so.
Absolutely.
We're
Why
going to
not?
do it, boys. Oh, wait, are there multiple in Jersey? Like when we say the Polar Plunge, like is there like...
There's definitely multiple.
Okay. So yeah, we'll get the details. We'll figure out where we're going to do it and then ways where people can fundraise or people can support the cause.
Awesome. I love it. And with that, thank you all for listening. Have an amazing week. We'll see you next Friday. Bye.
Josh didn't have the music this week. He jumps.
I got some outro music.
You're helping me with the outros, Josh. I don't have to edit them in anymore.
Hold on. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for listening to the Garden State Podcast. With that, I'm your host, Josh Sobo.
I'm Josh Chomik.
And behind the camera,
Jimmy Parks.
we'll see you guys next Friday.
Later.
You're listening to the Garden State. The Dirty Jers.